Good afternoon all. Today we are going to start fifth unit of digital communication system. Subject code Information Theoretic Approach to Communication System. Lesson name is Information Theoretic Approach to Communication System. If we have to learn information theory and coding part, before coding part or types of coding, we have to study what is information. At the end of this chapter, At the end of this chapter, you will know what is information and how it's important. Second one is what is data compression, its aspect, entropy concept. Also, some coding techniques are there. Data transmission through channel and its reception, our goal to achieve. Now you got what is our goal to achieve, which thing you should know after completion of chapter. We will move further towards the information theory, introduction to information theory. Information and Communication Technology stands for ICT, has become backbone of today's economy. Communication system transmit the information generated by source to some destination. This information can be voice, electronic mail, computer generated data, video, fax, etc. Communication system through which the information is passed are likely to distort this information. There is uncertainty at transmitter, channel, and receiver in the communication system. Performance of the communication system Performance of the communication system must therefore be analyzed from the point of view of information transmitted and processed in the system. This will require use of probabilistic techniques because of uncertainty involved. C. E. Shannon in 1948 published his revolutionary work which laid the foundation of information theory. He stated that we can transmit information through channel at any rate less than the capacity of channel with appropriately small error, whatever may be the disturbance in the channel. Information theory deals with mathematical laws governing systems that communicate and process information. Quantitative measure of information and capacity of various systems that transmit, receive, or process information. We have to come out with mathematical module of source which is generating information, channel which is transmitting information, and receiver which is receiving information. Measurement of information involved in each stage also need to be done so that we can design an effective and efficient communication system. To summarize, information theory is used for mathematical modeling and analysis of communication system so that we will be able to transmit minimum information and maximum the transmission rate, yet there is reliability in transmission. Information theory deals with mathematical modeling and analysis of communication system rather than physical source and channel. In particular, it helps us to find the amount of information contained in the signal, the irreducible complexity below which the signal can't be compressed, the ultimate transmission rate for reliable communication over a noise channel. Information theory answers two fundamental questions. First one is what is the ultimate data compression? Answer is the entropy H. The what is ultimate transmission rate? Answer is channel capacity C. The concept that increased transmission rate over a channel increases the error rate. Shannon show that this is not true as long as rate is below channel capacity. Shannon has further shown that random processes have an irreducible complexity below which they cannot be compressed. Here is the diagram: data compression, limit, entropy, modulation, scheme coding, data compression limit, and channel capacity. We assume a discrete memoryless source. Memoryless is the sense that the symbol emitted at any point of time is independent of previous choice. The source output as emitted during every signaling interval is modeled as a discrete random variable S which on symbols from a fixed finite alphabets S0, S1, S2, Sk minus 1 with probabilities P in bracket capital S is equal to S suffix K bracket complete is equals to Pk. K its value is variable 0, 1, 2, 3. Integration of 0 to 1 Pk is equals to 1. Even for an event S, Sk with the small sk emitted by the source with probability Pk, then if Pk is equals to 1 and Pi is equals to 0 and for all I is not equals to k, then there is no information because we know what the message is going to be from the source. But if Pk is low, then there is more surprise, and so the information when Sk is emitted by the source than the symbol Si, which is having the higher probability to be emitted. The amount of information is related to the inverse of the probability of occurrence as given by Isk is equals to log of 1 upon Pk is equals to minus log of Pk. Sk is greater than I for Pk is less than P1. Clear? When Pk is equals to 1 by 2, we have I of Sk is equals to 1. That is one bit of information that we gain when one of two possible and equally likely event occur. And I of Sk is greater than or equals to 0, then 0 is less than or equal to Pk and Pk is less than 1. This is the condition. Mathematical model for information source. There are two types of information sources. One is analog sources such as voice, video, etc. And second is discrete sources such as computer generated data, PCM output, etc. Information produced by any source is random. Consider a discrete information source with m different letters or digits given by x1, x2, x3, xm. It emits a sequence of letters selected from the set of letters to construct mathematical model. Okay. First is discrete memoryless source. For if the current letter produced by a source is statistically independent of all past and future outputs, then such source is called discrete memoryless sources. DMS. And second one is discrete stationary sources. If the joint probability of two sequences of length n says x1, x2, x3, xm and x1 plus n, x2 plus n plus xm plus n are identical for all n is greater than 1 and for all shifts m, then such source is said to be stationary source. Now we will move towards the next topic, that is entropy. Till now, we were talking about information of single message generated by the source. What about information generated by the source? It can be total information or average information generated by the source, but only average information can characterize the source. Average information of a source is information generated per individual message. It is also called entropy of the source. Definition of entropy is the entropy of a source is average amount of information generated by the source per message. Let us consider a source X generating m different messages x1, x2, x3 as it is xm with corresponding probabilities p of x2, p of x1, p of x2, p of x3 is up to p of xm. It means in a long stream of message generated by source, the probability of generating message xi will be p of xi. If p of xi is equal to 0.1, then 10 out of 100 message generated by the source will be x of I. Suppose this source generates L number of message at a particular time where L is greater than M. The amount of potential information contained is a signal is termed the entropy, usually denoted by H, which is defined as follows: h of x is equals to integration of p of x into log of px. We can essentially think of this is a weighted average of log of 1 upon p of x. The quantity p of 1 by p of x express the amount of surprise in an event x minus, that is, if the probability is low, then there is a lot of surprise, and consequently a lot of information is conveyed by telling you that x happened. It's a measure of the average information content per source symbol. The reason we are taking the log of surprise is so that the total amount of surprise from independent event is additive. Log convert multiplication to addition. Log convert multiplication to addition. See this, log 1 upon p of x1 into x2 is equal to p of x1 plus log of p of x2. If we separate, then the addition. Thus, entropy essentially measures the average surprise or average uncertainty of a random variable. If the distribution p of x is highly peaked around one value, then we will rarely be surprised by this variable. Hence, it would be incapable of conveying much information. If, on the other hand, the p of x is uniformly distributed, then we will be most surprised on average by this variable. Hence, it could potentially convey a lot of information. Basic define entropy, relative entropy, and mutual information. Entropy means mutual information. A measure of uncertainty of random variable. Let x be a discrete random variable. Okay, RV is a random variable with alphabet A, X. Now we are going to study the properties of entropy. From above discussion on entropy, we can state following two important properties of entropy. One is h of x. H means entropy. Entropy is denoted by h. H of x is greater than or equals to 0. that is entropy is non-negative. Wait, I will see, I will told you by using book. Okay, only it is 0 when p of xj is equals to 1. Unity. Hence, the quantity p of xj log 1 upon psj is always non-negative and greater than or equal to 0. Hence, sum of all such terms will also be non-negative. That is, h of s is greater than 0. We also see that p of xj log 1 upon pxj will be 0 if p of xj 0. Hence, second property of h of xj is less than or equal to log m h of x log m if only if all properties are equal so that p of xj upon m for all j this should be equal. Okay, consider the probability distribution. Entropy and information rate. If a discrete memoryless source generates message at a rate r message per second, the average amount of information generated per second by the source can be given by rate of information. Rate of information formula is number of messages per second into average information per message. We know that h of x is average information per message. R is equals to R into h of x bit per second. The quantity is important as it describes source in the form of generated by bit. Consider two sources x and y with entropies h of x and h of y. If rate of generation of message by them are r of x and r of y respectively, then r of x is equals to r of x h of x y, r of y h of y, and h of x is equals to h of y. R is less than Ry. The source X transmit less information than source Y. Hence, source is described by its rate of information and entropy. Sometimes rate of information is called bits per second entropy. Now we are going to see entropy limiting factor. Entropy is 0 if and only if pk is equals to 1. For some pk and remaining probabilities in the set are all 0, this means there is no uncertainty in the information. Entropy is log 2k if and only if pk is equals to 1 by 0 for all key, that is all the symbols in the alphabets are equiprobable. This upper bound on entropy corresponds to maximum information. Entropy extended. We often use blocks rather than individual symbol, with each block consisting of n successive source symbol. This book could be viewed as an extended source with a source alphabet that has k of n distinct blocks, where k is the number of distinct symbols in the source alphabet of the original source. In case of A discrete memoryless source, the source symbol are statistically independent. Hence, the probability of the source symbol is equal to the product of the probabilities of the n source symbol. Next topic is source coding. From a transmitter point of view, data of the source is compressed in a source encoder. For efficient compression, we need the knowledge of entropy or the statistics of the source. For an example, we can assign short code to frequent source code and longer code to infrequent one. This is called variable length code. Requirement of efficient source coding. The primary requirement for a efficient source encoder is that the code word produced by the encoder is in binary form. First requirement is code is in binary form. The source code is uniquely decodable so that the original source sequence can be reconstructed perfectly from the encoded binary sequence. Coding efficiency. We have following source encoder, discrete memoryless source and source encoder. Okay, ESK is transferred to source encoder. Source encoder use the BK binary sequence. The above sequence is having an alphabet with k different symbols and kth symbol KSK occurs with probability pk k is 0, 1, 2, 3, k minus 1. Let the binary code word assigned to symbol sk by the encoder have length ak measured in bits. Coding efficiency. Coding efficiency. So the average code word length L dash of the source encoder as dash summation of k value 0 to 1 pkik. In physical term, it represents the average number of bits per source symbol. If L minimum, the minimum possible value of L dash, then coding efficiency of the source encoder is given by effective approach. Source coding theorem. Shannon first theorem. Coding is a technique of transforming symbol or message generated by a source into another format so as to improve efficiency of communication system. Coding is a procedure for mapping a given set of messages x1, x2, x3 up to xn into a set of encoded messages y1, y2, y3, yn in such a way that each message there is only one encoded message. Since we are encoding message generated by source, this method is called source coding. This helps in improving transmission efficiency. Following technologies are used with coding. Letter or characters. Individual member of alphabet set. Message or word. Finite sequence of letter. Length of message. Number of letters in the word or message. Encoding or enciphering. It is a procedure of associating words generated by source into another language format in one-to-one manner. Decoding or deciphering. The inverse operation of a sign word of second language corresponding to word first language code word generated by encoding procedure is second language code or code book set of all code words fixed length code with fixed length of code word variable length code with variable length of code words irreducible or prefix condition if no code word form prefix of any other code word it is called prefer coding or irritable property. uniquely decipherable or decodable. The decoding operation in which it is possible to recognize the correspondence between two languages without space mark between the words. Such codes are also called instantaneous code as there is no decoding delay. Shannon's first theorem on coding efficiency gives the idea to calculate limit. It is stated as given a discrete memory-less source of entropy. The average code word length EL dash for any distortion-less source coding scheme is bounded as L is greater than or equal to entropy. So, according to the source coding theorem, the entropy presents a fundamental limit of the average number of bits per source symbol necessary to represent a discrete memory-less source in that it can be made as small as but no smaller than the entropy. So with L minimum h of n of h of L data compaction for efficient transmission, redundant data should be removed from the signal prior to transmission. This operation with no loss of information is performed in digital form and it is called as data compression or lossless data compression. This operation provides the source output with average number of bits per symbol and also original data could be reconstructed from this data with no loss of information. So short descriptions are provided to the most frequent outcome and longer for the less frequent one. Code efficiency need for source coding. From above discussion, it must have been clear to you that the encoding method should be give rise to uniquely decodable code so that original message sequence generated by source can be reconstructed perfectly. Let us now see another aspect of encoding, the efficiency of coding. The source which is generating message may be generated more number of times than other message. In such case, instead of using fixed length code, it we use variable length code. We will be improving the efficiency by accessing less number of bits to higher probability message compared to the lower probability message. For example, if the source generate four messages x1, x2, x3, x4 with probability 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 10, we can use following two schemes coding. Message fixed length coding. Message is x1, x2, x3, x4. Probability is 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 8. Then code is 00011011. For x1 it is 00, x2 it is 01, x3 it is 10, and x4 it is 11. Okay, if 100 messages are generated by one source per system second, then 50 of them will be x1 25u, will x2 is 125u, x3 is 12.5u, be x4. Number of codes bits transmitted per second will be 50 into 2 plus 25 into 2 plus 12.5 into 2 and 125 into 2 is equal to 200 bits per second. Second scheme is variable length coding. Here same data is used but variable length. For message x1 probability is 1 by 2 and code is 0. For message x2 probability is 1 by 4 and code is 10. X3 probability is 1 by 8 and code is 110. For x4 probability is 1 by 8 and code is 111. If again 100 messages are generated by the source per second, the total number of transmitted in 1 second will be 50 into 1 plus 25 into 2, 20, 175 bits per second. Thus, in scheme 2, we are transmitting less number of bits per second than scheme 1. Clearly, scheme 2 is more efficient than scheme 1. Now we are going to look prefix coding. Any sequence made up of initial part of the code is called prefix of the code. A prefix code is defined as the code in which no code word is the prefix of any other code word. Example of prefix: source symbol क्या है 0, probability 0.5, code 1 क्या है 0, code 2 भी 0 और code 3 भी 0, and S1 probability is 0.25, code 1 is 1, code 2 is 10, code 3 is 1, 0, 1. S2 0.125, code 1 is 0, code 2 is 110, code 3 is 0, 11. S3 0, source symbol is S3, probability 0.125, code 1 is 11, code 2 is triple zero. Code 1 is not a prefix code since the bit 0, the code word for S0, the prefix of 00 S2, again the bit 1. Code word for S1 is a prefix of 11. Code 3 it is also not a prefix code justify. Code 2 it's a prefix code for the given condition that no code is prefixed to another one. Decoding. The important property of the code is that it's uniquely decodable. The decodable, a sequence of code word generated from a prefix source code. The source decoder starts at the beginning of the sequence and decode one code word at a time. This way it sets up a decision tree which is a graphical portable of code word in particular code. The first receive bit moves the decoder to the internal state S0 if it's 0 or else to a second decision point if it's 1. In the in the latter case, the second bit moves the decoder one step further down the tree. That is either the S1 if it's 0 or to a third decision point if it's 1 and so on. Once each terminal state emits its symbol and decoder goes back to its initial state, the end of the prefix code is always recognizable. Hence, decoding could be accomplished as soon as the binary sequence representing the source symbol is fully received. So it's also called the instantaneous code. Decoding tree is there. S0, S1, S2, S3. Initial stage 0, 1, 0, 1. 1, 0 again 1. Decoding the sequence 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 triple 0 and verify it produces. We can prove limit in infinity. So by making the order n of extended prefix source encoder large enough, we can make the coding faithfully represents the discrete memory-less source as close as desired. In other words, the average code word length of an expanded prefix code can be made as small as the entropy of the source provided the extended code has a high enough order, but the disadvantage of extended code is increased coding complexity. Huffman coding. It is one important class of prefix code. The basic idea behind the name. Now we are going to stop here as I complete today introduction fifth unit topics, introduction to information theory, entropy and its properties, source coding theorem. Up to source coding theorem we have completed. In next lecture we will start in Huffman coding and Shannon-Fanon coding. Shannon-Fanon coding. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. All the best. Do study well.